Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Today is another day. Um, I want to share with you what one of the things I believe in, which is write down your goals, or write your goals down and follow them. Write your goals and follow them. One of the things that make people sometimes to become a bit hopeless, so to say, about their own lives is where you see people who are just about your age, or people who you think are just like you, who you see as successful, or who you see as living a life that you think is a life which is successful. Most people, instead of those things to encourage them and let them fight for it, a lot of people rather pack their lives and look at these people who they call achievers, who are maybe in the same age bracket, so to say, or have common background as them. Some of them will be jealous of their success, and some of them too will just pack their lives and celebrate these people. It is not wrong to celebrate somebody that you think is successful, but I don't think somebody's success should make you pack your life. I think that we all deserve the life that we have within our heart to live. And it's not a mystery. It's not something that is not that cannot be understood. There are basic things that drive the focus and the energy of people, that if you commit to them consistently, after a while you will see that your life is also taking same shape just as others. It does not matter what people say that you don't have. One of the things of life is that, especially those who went to school, if they were not that good in school and they could not lift themselves, their confidence up, a lot of them will always still look at the people who were in the first in the class as if because they were first in the class or they were the top in the class, they should be ahead of them all their lives. I don't think that is how the life is organized. I don't think that is how life is structured. There are some few basic things that if you know how to do them, they'll be able to channel your focus, your energy, and for you to have the life you so desire. They say that not everybody can be successful. I bet to differ. Everybody can be successful in what they set out to do. Everybody can be successful in what they want to achieve in their lives. And one of the best things that you can do is to start to write the goals that you have down. A lot of us have diary, so to say, or you have a phone that you can start to write something down, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 things about your life that you want to see happen in the next few months, in the next year, in the next 20 years of your life. What I have seen about this kind of approach is that they channel your energy, they channel your focus, they push you to do things that you may take lightly if you had not written them down. So today I'm talking about you writing down your goals and following them. Write them down and follow them, because that little act drives a lot of energy from you to live the life that you want. Some people have the thinking that, especially the Christians, they think that, some of them, the Holy Ghost told me, God told me kind of lifestyle. But I think that if you're like me, who is not all the time hearing from God as voice, like the people who have that, you would want to live out of your convictions. And one of the best things to live out of your convictions will be to write down your goals. No matter how funny they may look, no matter how ludicrous, yes, that they may look, write them down. Write them down, your goals. And the kind of goals that you write down, some of them you may even forget them, but when you go back to look through your books and the things that you wrote, if you've been practicing this for the last 10, 20 years of your life, 30, depending on how, when you got that revelation of you writing something down, go back and track them and see. You see that they have actually guarded, or they have actually directed the life that you have lived. They may not be exact. They may not be exact things that you may have, lived, but they played serious role in you having the life that you're living today. If you did not write them, it's the same. Your inability not to write them is responsible for the life that you have now. Life is not a chance. Life is not luck. Life is not chascaling that you leave to chances. And one of the best things that you can do is write your goals down and pursue them. I remember when we finished college, I chanced on a book that was talking about goal setting. I was very much happy. It intrigued me. I read about it, and it elated me. And so I picked some book. I've stapled them. No, I actually bound that book and wrote a lot of things that I wanted to do with my life. As a young man in your maybe less than 23, 20 years, nobody told you that write down your goals for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years of your life, or even for the rest of your life. Write something down. And I saw this in a book that writes your goals, and I actually wrote them to the 100th year of my life. How much knowledge I had to write, I didn't have that much knowledge, but at least I wrote some fantasies down. I wrote some things down. I wrote the kind of school that I wanted to go, the level of school that I wanted to go. I was not sure what the life contained, what is it that I wanted to. I was not sure. Nobody really channeled that life. They only said, I'll go to school, and when you finish the school, look for a job. And so that is common to everybody. But I think that there was something in me that wanted a more fulfilling life, just more than going to school, having some degrees, and getting some kind of job, or going to live maybe abroad or something like that. I was not sure. I wanted a meaningful life, a peaceful life, a life that is satisfying. And so I wrote some things down. I wrote some things down about the kind of money that I wanted to save at a certain stage of my life. Maybe the kind of woman you would want to marry, maybe some fantasies, so children, where I would want to live, the school level, and things like that. I think they were fantasies, but they actually brought some kind of energy in me. And it was a good book I read. So I remember when we started thinking of how to register a business way back, we wrote some things down, because at least we could write. So any idea that comes to you, you just write them down. And I did write some things down. And some of them, after 5 years or so, you go back to see that even some names that I had originally thought to use for some businesses or some website, I deviated. Then down the line, I got back to them without even referring back to the things that I had written earlier. Because when you put those things down, they are kept in your conscious or your subconscious mind, you know. And you may be living a life based on the things that you may have written down as your goals. And so don't keep them in your head. Write them down. Have a book, have a diary. I have a tradition that every year I buy a diary and I write some things down. Some things that did not go well in the last year, some things that went well in the last year, and this year, what I foresee that I could do. You know, you write them down, and they tend to work. Why people don't like some of these things is because they are impatient. But if you have the time to write some of the things that you want to do down, you'll be shocked how many of them you will do at the end of the year. And so your goals may look funny to people and sometimes to you, but you just write them down. Have a book, have a diary, or write them on your phone, somewhere that you will not lose it, somewhere that you can archive it, somewhere that you can always track it. Write them down, whatever. If it's about the school that you want to go or you want to further, if it's about the finances that you want, write some things down. The savings that you want to do, some investments that you want to do, even if you don't have anything, even if some debt that you want to pay, some loans, whatever it is, some mistakes that you want to correct. Even if it's marriage, maybe the first one didn't work, the second one that you want to try, whatever that your life is about, write something down. It shapes your life. It's more powerful than a lot of the tools that are the other tools that people are using. So you write the goals down. Some of them could be a month, a week. Write how many, any idea that comes to you as to things that you're passionate about, write them down. Write them down. Your goals, I said, may look funny, but write them down. It doesn't matter. It's in your book. Nobody is going to look at them. And you update them as well as the weekly ones, the monthly ones. And as you upgrade yourself, you will see some of the loopholes that based on what you wrote when you wrote them. So it doesn't matter. Just write them down and keep on updating them. Your goals are really your reality. Your reality is not the life that you think you're living. Until you drop dead, your reality is really in that goal, the goals that you have for yourself. And once you accomplish them, that does not become your reality anymore. That becomes a history. So that the life that you live, and that is one of the best ways to live out of pain and mistakes, is the goal. The goals that you set for yourself. Sometimes you can even enjoy the achievement of the goal before you even achieve them. And that is what separates people who live in pain and depression from those who are enjoying their lives in spite of the circumstances around them. So one of the best way to look or to live above pains and mistakes is the goals that you set for yourself, those that you write for yourself. They are actually the reality, because when you see the goal, that's why sometimes some people want to build and they do the drawings and they put the picture there. Sometimes they are living in the house, they put the picture there, they are living in the house before they even start to build the house. And there is some kind of energy, some kind of peace, some kind of enthusiasm that comes when you see that which you want to live in, or that the life that you see yourself living. And so when any time that you go back to look at your goals, you see that you are energized. And one of the things that you lose energy or you lose passion for life is because you have no goals to live for. So write your goals down. It's not just head knowledge. Write your goals down. They are actually the realities that you are living. A lot of the things that you are doing today, you may have written them down. That's why you're doing them now. And so set the goals to be the best at whatever that you do with your life. Whatever that you're involved in, set the goals that if I'm involved in this thing, I'm going to do it to the best way possible. So whatever that life throws at you, whatever life that you have, and we all know what life is about. Life, the work that you do, the business that you do, the finances that you think about, the marriage that people have, anything that you're involved in, the religious organizations that you enjoy, your part, the political things that you're involved in, anything that you're involved in that concerns you, write a goal to say that if I'm involved in this thing, I'm going to give it the best of my shot. And so goals, people who are highly successful are goal driven. They are goal driven. Forget about all the arguments that people put up with goal setting and all those. If you are going to achieve anything at all, you have got to set a goal. They say that in the Bible the world will come to an end. That's a goal that's God has set. It's a goal, and so he's working towards that. So you, as a human, you must have a goal. Don't just live the life that you want anyhow, and have a goal and write them down. Set goals for your life. Set goal for your life. If you didn't have that habit of writing them, write them, as the problems of life will overcome you, and the problems of life will consume your thoughts, your mind. Why? Because you may not have written anything, and anything that you write you don't forget, because you can always go and look at them. The diary that you had the year 2000, if you had any diary at all at that time, or maybe 2010, 2005, you can easily go and look for that book and you see what you wrote. And sometimes you look at the English that the wording or the things that you put down, you may even ask yourself, did I write this thing myself? Because sometimes you can shock yourself by the things that you know. But because you are not writing things down, the inspirations that come to you are not writing them down. I remember when I was somewhere in school, I started writing a lot of ideas down. When I was going to work, sometimes the ideas would just flow. I don't know, maybe somebody was talking to me or something. The ideas would just come constantly. Inspiration. And when I go, I pick a book, I write a lot of those ideas. I didn't know where they were coming from, they would just keep coming, and I put them down. Sometimes I go and look at those ideas, and I'm amazed. Where are these ideas coming from? And some of them are used to write a book. So write the things that come to you. Write them down. You may not even have the need for them now, but write them down. Some of the things that I've typed in PowerPoint, some of them 15 years ago, I typed them on my PC and I saved them in my email. And some of those ideas, I extract them, I polish them. So write everything that comes to you, including your goals. Write them. Don't just if you cannot write and package knowledge and get your knowledge organized, you can never be organized in any aspect of your life. If you cannot organize knowledge, you cannot organize anything that comes to you. So the thoughts that come to you, beyond even the goals, the thoughts that come to you, if you cannot organize them, and one of the best ways to organize the thoughts that come to you is to write them down. Write the ideas that you get every morning, every day. Write them down. It's so much important, because one idea, a lot of people have changed a lot of things just with an idea that came to them, and they wrote them down, and they started to build things around them. Some people have built empires, businesses, kingdoms with just one thread of an idea, and they expanded it. So every one of us is getting thoughts, ideas, inspirations all the time. Keep them by writing them down. And so are your goals. Your goals, they decide how your life is organized. How organized your life is depends on how much goals and you have set for yourself. And you cannot keep those goals just in your head. Write them down. They will decide the life that you're living. Your goals will determine how you spend and what you spend your time on. Your goals that you have written down. They decide what you spend your time on and how you spend that time. Your goals show the strength that you have, especially when you have been able to achieve them. You can look back and say, I was able to achieve this, and because you wrote them down. What is important is that you have to believe in your goals, that they are achievable. If other people don't believe in them, that is not your concern. What is important is that you believe that these things are achievable, and I'm going to work towards them. And your goals to become a prosperous person, don't write a goal to become a poor person, to become somebody who controls some level of wealth. Write that down and build a strategy against it. Write a goal to see a prosperous country, and your contribution, what you're going to do to make sure that our country becomes prosperous, our continent becomes prosperous. To have a peaceful and a beautiful family, it's a goal. You write them down. They are not just going to happen. I remember the things that I didn't pay that much attention to. They are the things that I didn't do at the point that I needed to do them, because they were not in my mind. They were not my focus. They were not my goals. They bring the best out of you. And the best goals that you write are the goals that are linked to the reason that you feel you are part of this world. The reason that you came into this world, those are the best goals that you can write. What you think that your life is about. If you write that down, you can clarify a lot of things about your life. A lot of the sadness, a lot of the confusion, a lot of the agitation and depression, a lot of the anxiety that people have is because they have not written down goals as to, this is my life and this life is about this. So the moment you put those down, you get a lot of clarity about life. So you only stop at anywhere that you are going only when you don't have goal. So when you don't have a goal, then anywhere you get to becomes your destination. But when you have a goal, for instance, if I pick a car from Accra to Kumasi, I know that I'm going to Kumasi. So when the car gets to Ejoso or Nkoko, I will know that it's not Nkoko that I'm going. I'm going to Kumasi, because that is my goal. And so is life. If you set the goal, then you will not stop along the way. No matter the challenges, no matter the difficulties, because you have set a goal for yourself that I want to be here at this time of my life. I want to get here. And so when you are in the car and you're going, you will not, even if the car breaks down, because you are going to Kumasi, you will get another car. And that is life. If your strategy or the method that you set, you see there is the goal and there's the method, the strategy to get the goals accomplished. If you set the goal and the strategy is not even working, it's like the vehicle that is taking you to Kumasi. Your goal from Accra is you want to get to Kumasi. You may even put time on it, and the car may break down. You may get an accident. But because you want to get to Kumasi, if you don't die in that accident and the car breaks down, you will still look for another car, and sometimes even walk if there is no car coming to the closest community, to the closest town, get another car, and still work towards your goal of you getting to Kumasi. It's the same of life. So no matter the tragedies that come, no matter the things that you did not foresee coming, even if they hit you, it's like the guy whose goal is going to Kumasi and who gets into trouble along the way. His goal is to get to Kumasi, so he will do whatever he has to do to get to Kumasi. But if he did not have that goal, and he just went to the bus station and sat in any car at all, then he will not get anywhere, in spite even of the kind of money that he has, in spite of even of the car that is taking him to where, because he knows nowhere that he's going. The car, the niceness of the car does not matter. The money that he has on him does not matter, because he has no clue where he's going. So if you know where you're going, then the money and the education, everything, the network become meaningful, because then you have set goals. So if, let's say, maybe the president calls you to say that come and meet me, and you go and he asks you, what is it that you think that my office can do to help you? If you have no clarity as to what you want, the president will not be able to help you. Maybe a very rich man calls you to say that, come, I want to meet you. You should be clear what the meeting is about, and that is a goal. You go there for 1, 2, 3, and so you tell the man, this is what I want. And that compresses everything, every energy towards that. And so everything that you do, if you don't have goal, then you see that you will not be at all. So the goals to start the business, you must have a goal, and you must even write, sequentially, maybe 2018, 2022, 2028, the business should have been here, the business should have been here, the business should have been here. It doesn't even matter whether you hit the target or you don't even hit the target. And sometimes you even overhit the target just because you set a goal for yourself. And you don't set goals to limit yourself, and you don't set goals based on your weakness and the lack from your background. You set goals to extract the potential in you. And so the goals should be something that makes you sleepless, that makes you worried that how am I going to achieve this? So set goal for the family, set goal for the finances, set goal for the business that you're building, set goal for the career that you have, the professional development that you have, set goal for our country and our continent, the bits that you have to do to make it a good place, and those who have been setting goal for themselves, every area. Some people, you will see, they may not even have the ability to write. They have a conviction of where their life should be at some point in their lives, and they work so much towards it, and that's why their life changed. Everyone that you see, talk to them and see. Even those that you think that they just happen, somewhere along the line they had that conviction. But the best way is to write them down and keep updating the goals as you get better. Your goals, as I said, decide how you even spend your life, how you spend your time, how you spend your money, who you spend your time with. Your goals. Sometimes they may even decide who you marry. Your goals. So set goal for yourself and write them down. Write them down. If you write them on the phone, make sure that it's backed well. At least write some 1, 2, 3, 10 goals that you want to see done in this year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, and write them big so that you will not sleep. You go and work till the goals are realized. So listen to your heart. That which occurs all the time in your heart. That is what your life is about. Write goals about them. Write goals about them. Set goals for the business. The books that you want to read, set goals. Set goals. Today or tomorrow or every week, I want to read one book. Even if you don't have money to buy the book, there are a lot of books online, free. A lot of books online, free. Go to Amazon, go to Google, go to all those. Just Google them, add PDF to it on any topic, and read them. You can say that I want to read one book every week or one book every month. You'll be amazed the kind of knowledge that you acquire. So set goals. Set goals to get better. Set goals to invest in yourself. Set goals to become a better person. Set goals to get the tools that you need to train yourself. If you want to go back to school, set goals on that. Even if you don't have the money, write that down. And the moment you write it down and you become consumer of it, it's so amazing what kind of person that you meet the next time who can link you to that goal. It's so amazing. The moment you say that, oh, I want to start a business, you see that all your friends change. Now, and you talk to people that have started a business or I want to start a business. You see that somebody will just say, "Oh, okay, you want to start a business? I also know this person who said that they are interested in this kind of, But before, if you never set any goal and you never talk to anybody about that, when they meet you, they just talk generally. They talk generally because you have never said that maybe you are into this. They don't know you for anything. Because you have never shared your goals with anybody. You have never shared your goals and your life is open. But the moment you tell somebody that I want to do this, when that person hears another person who says that thing, they think of you. And if they are good people, they think of linking you to that person. All because you set a goal. And that changes your life. And that changes your life. So set goals. Life is not just magic. And life is not just you going to pray to God all the time, hoping that your life will change. Your goals, those with goals, those who set goals for themselves, will do far more than those who are waiting for God to change their lives. They will do. Because the goal will extract the energy in you. It will connect you to a lot of things before you set the goal. Your life will start to change. You get defined because you have goals now. And more importantly, write them down. What is it that you want to see in your environment? What is it that you want to see improve in other people? Because there are goals for yourself. There are good, but there are better goals. And those better goals are the goals that you do to change lives, to change people, to change community, to give value to people, to bring meaning to people's lives. Those goals, they are far more better than the goals that you set for yourself and your family. The goals to change the world, the goals to share what you know, the goal to bring hope to people. So set those goals. Those goals are far more better than the personal goals that you set for yourself. Even though the personal goals are important, they are only about self. And life is drudgery when you set only life goals based on self. So goals that will bring change to your country, change to your community, change to your continent, change to the world. That which you have always had in your heart to do for people. Set goals and say that this year I want to start this organization, or next 2 years I want to start this organization. You put it down and you start working towards it. You'll be amazed the next call you will get just because you set that goals. Because your energy is driven and the universe is also looking for that. The goals is an attraction. It's a magnet that attracts the forces of life. But until you have set your goals, when the forces come, they don't find anything to catch to. So that's why people who are doing something, people who are achieving a lot in this life, talk to them and say they have goals. And they have serious monumental goals. And those goals are not just about them getting money at all. Yes, the money is very important, because without it, a lot of the things that you have set, you will not be able to do them. But they don't even have to be your money. Some people are looking for good people with good passion to change things, and they will give money to. So set the goals. Sometimes the most important goals are the goals that you set to change lives, destinies of people. So don't just sit somewhere and talk. Is it a book you want to write? Write it. Is it a business that you want to start? Write it down. It's not just I want to marry and I want to buy a car, I want to build a house. Those are indeed for children. For men, the right goes to change destinies. Have goals and work towards them. Don't just wait for things to happen to you. They may not happen. Write the goals. Write them down. Don't wait for them. What is it that is always boiling in you? Write it down. The organization, the finances, the family, the savings, the investments. If it's a political office that you want to go for it. And when you go, don't go and look for bribe. Go to change our country. Don't worry about what did not work. If you have goals, what did not work does not really matter. It's like the guy going to Kumasi I talked about. The car did not go, but the guy, because he was focused on going to Kumasi, he changed the car and he still moved. His time may have even been lengthened just because he had troubles with the car that he was going with, but his focus is still to go to Kumasi, and so he works towards it. He goes for it. A lot of people, they use religion to confuse themselves, and they confuse others, and that's why they don't do much with their lives, because they say they wait for God to tell them something. Yet that conviction in you is perhaps God talking to you. And so run with your convictions, write them down, change things. Commit your life to something. Have a life goal, and that should be beyond just you looking for a house and a good job and a nice salary, and it's sometimes even a good business. There should be something that will change destinies, and that is a goal. That is a goal. And so when I was young and I read that book about goal setting, it inspired me so much. Just that you can write goals down and work towards them. It was more than a father talking to me. It was more than a mentor, if I had any, talking to me. It was more than even an orphan having somebody inspired. It was so much. It meant so much to me that I could put goals down and work towards them and achieve them. And I can say that a lot of the things that I wrote about, a lot have come to pass. Because I wrote that, maybe I will start a business or something like that. I didn't even know what it meant. But because I wrote that, I started to talk around that. Then when my friend had some book about some author, he showed me that book, said, Kwabena, I know you will like this kind of book. Now, he didn't read that book, but he gave it to me. And I read it. And it changed the way I look at life. So you write your goals down. And that's what people identify you with. People will just generalize you because you don't have any goal for yourself. And you don't have even a higher goal committed to changing anything in this world. So write them down. They may be fantasies. Doesn't matter. They may be funny. Doesn't matter. Write them down. You have no idea what you can achieve when you start to write. And when you register that business, write them down. Write something down. Have goals for that business. Have goal for that organization. Have goal for that family that you want to build. Have goal for your life. Write them down. If they don't change, if they don't happen, nobody will kill you. But perchance, they will happen. At least you get closer. And it's one of the best things to live a fulfilling life, where you write things down and you keep working towards them. You will never get bored in this life, no matter what, because you have goals. So write the goals down. Write the goals down. Write them down and keep upgrading them, updating yourself. Write them down. Don't just live anyhow, thinking that life is going to change, waiting for some magic to happen from nowhere. The magic that happens to people, I'm sorry to say, a lot of them didn't work for them. This is what I mean. The people who are just saying that oh, don't worry, life will change. Look at how they make their money. A lot of them just get free money. That's why they believe that things will just change just because they told you that things will change. Things are not going to change until you set your goals, you get a strategy, and you stay committed to them. That's how things change. Things change. And that's why things happen to change beyond your widest dream, because at least you set the base for it, the threshold. So your goals may look funny. That's why a boy in that village that has no hope, no parent, nobody, if you can get that boy to have goals for his life, that boy will have faith in himself. You will have faith in life. You will have hope to live again. When that boy is going to school, he will not play, even if it's not a good school. When everybody is sleeping, that boy will go and pick a book and read. If he fails the exam 3 times, he will write them again. Why? Because he has set goal for himself to reach a certain stage in life. So he can fail the exam 10 times, it doesn't matter. He will never give up. He will write again because he has goals. That man with goals to own a business, he can start the business, it will fail. He will start another one, it will fail. He will start another one, it will fail. He will still keep on starting. Why? Because he has set to himself that I want to own a business when I'm 30 years. I want to own a business that is making this kind of revenue when I'm 45 years. So he committed to that. He wrote down. So it doesn't matter all the troubles that came up. Or it would not matter what the troubles, what kind of troubles would come up, because he has that goal, and that goal becomes his reality. His mind is always saturated with that. If somebody called you to say that, your mother sent me money, 20,000 to give to you, but I am going somewhere, I will come the next 2 weeks, so wait for me. Because they told you that money is there, you see, you can't even sleep. You will be thinking of the money all the time. That is a goal. No matter who insults you, it doesn't matter. You have that money that is coming to solve some problems for you. So, if you write your goals down and you start to look at them, they will shape your life. Whatever you want to do. If you want to be the top CEO in that company and you write it as a goal, you start to see how those guys who are running that business dress, how they think, how they work, what books they read, their lifestyle. You start to behave like them. And then you see that you become part of them. And that's why you get to be the CEO of that company, if that is your goal. And so you write them down. Don't play with them. Those who have achieved anything, they meant to achieve them. They meant to go there. So, and nobody's life is misery, or is a misery. No. If you can write your goals and pursue them, no life is bitter. There's no even sad life for anybody. There could be tough, there could be difficulties, toughness, difficulties, problems, but they don't mean that you live a sad life, because you have goals. You have written them down. And you keep pursuing them. Nothing can make you sad if you have goals and you work towards them. So it's not a cliche. It's not that something that people just talk about. It's a magic, if you want any magic at all. The fact that you have written down some goals and you are working towards them every minute. So set the goals to be the best of of anything that you are committed to do. Your problems, your pains, your struggles are contained. And I mean it. They are contained. You may not even see them because of the height of the goals that you have set for yourself. So set the goals, write them down, please. Write them down. And it should become one of the best traditions that you have to have as a human being, that you write things down and you work towards them. I want to write 3 books in 3 years. I want to write 4 books in 1 year. I want to start 4 businesses. It doesn't matter if they come through or they don't come through, but you are getting close to the goals. You're getting close. You look back and see the things that you wrote down. And see, you may think that your life you have not achieved anything. Somebody is so much happy and looking up to you, trying to become like you. So write your books, write your goals, anything that you're passionate about, write them down, put some time around it, and get a plan to achieve them. Get a plan to achieve them. Set the goals to be the best. Set the goals. Your life is driven. Highly successful people are driven by that. The practice of writing things that come to them. And it's not just the goals that come to you. There are ideas that come to you, write them down. Build some things around the ideas that come to you. Build them. That's where the world is. It's ideas. It's ideas. So all the ideas. One idea, just one idea to work on a product, to tune a service, can change the story of your life. And all of us are getting ideas all the time. We may not value them because we think that the idea, some people can get ideas how to just design a dress, and they constantly get up to get that. They may not be a seamstress or something like that, tailor, but you see that they have this peculiar gift of seeing style on women. That is an idea that is coming to you every minute. Put it on in a book. Draw the dress. Right then. You never know. You never know. I remember some of our businesses that we did. Some of them, when the idea came, we put down the name of the business. We work on the website. Start to register the business. Sometimes we even go ahead to open a bank account for the business, and there's nothing that we are doing. And then we write a profile for it. It's not to the bank, it's for us. So you write who is the managing director of the business, who are the partners, what each of us are is going to do, and then we write about the things that we want to do with the business, and we do some timelines. Maybe the next 2 years this business will be here, and some of them we just wrote them down. We will not even go back to look at them. And after a while, that thing that we thought we were just playing is now becoming a reality. Just because we had the idea to start a business and put some things around them, and we start to work on them all the time. And so get a book if you don't have. If you are an electronic person, put them on your phone, but don't lose them. Make sure that you put them in a Dropbox or Google Drive, some things like that, so that you can always go and look at them. Document the things that come to you. Don't document only your pictures and only the letters that people wrote to you. Document your inspirations, your ideas, the things that constantly come to you. Write something about your future. There's a lot that you can change if you start to audit your life and write and set goals. So don't set goals to be a poor and average person. Set goals to be somebody who is good at something that the world will know. Stand for something. Stand for something. Mr. Amidu is seen as very troublesome. But you see, when they needed that position, his personality fit it so much. His personality fits it. Why? Because he stood for something. He had a goal that I'm this kind of person, I'm not going to change. This is what I stand for, my country, this is what I stand for. And no matter who you are, if you are like this kind, we can flow. I want to see people being honest with how they handle the resources of the country. So when the position came, so stand for something, be noted for something. So set the goal to be prosperous. It's a very beautiful goal. And set goals to have finances and financial independence. Set them. Even if it's 1,000 that you work on the whole year, you'll be glad you did. And the best goals, and I set goals to be a healthy person, eat well, set goals to have a good lifestyle, have time to rest, enjoy your life. don't live in pain and struggle and bitterness, those kind of things. You don't need them. Be a happy person. Set goals to say, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be a kind person. I'm going to be a nice person. I'm going to have a beautiful family. And you work towards it. Families don't just happen. It's a goal. A beautiful life does not just happen. A beautiful marriage does not just happen. It's a goal. You work towards it. That's a successful business. So same. A beautiful, prosperous country does not just happen. There are goals that are set and people work diligently to realize those goals. So your goals will bring the best in you. And when you set the goals, all the forces of life focus on you and your goals. And you only stop at anything when you don't have goals. If you know where you're going, you will not stop anywhere and say that I've reached. You know where you're going, so until you get there, you're not quitting. So these are some of the things that I felt I should discuss and share with you. It's a good tradition for you to have your goals set and set them well and work towards them. Every one of us wants a meaningful life, a successful life. And there are little things that separate people who are achieving something from people. Some people may be working, they may be putting a lot of effort, but there are some little things that are not channeling their energy well. And maybe this may be one of them, where you don't set goals for yourself, you don't practice it, and so you are not getting results that much from life because you are not constraining, so to say, your energy to hit a target. And goals do that for you. So set goal for that business that you are doing and where you want to grow that business to, and be committed to stay with it till you succeed. Set goal for that place that you work, the salary that you want to multiply, the girl that you want to marry. Set goals to change people, the destinies, the children, the organizations that you want to help change, and don't just sit somewhere and do nothing. Set goals and work towards your goals. Have goals and work towards them. They will happen without you even knowing that you are the one who set the goals. So please work on them. Life is fantastic when you have goals that you're working towards, and if you have the habit of working towards goal. So it's your life, and if you set goals, you'll be amazed what you can do and what you can make out of life. There are a lot of things that people are using. That's why they are getting ahead. And then there are other things that as Africans we are not doing. So we are grappling, so to say. We just set goals. It will make you comfortable. It will make you peaceful. It will make you believe that your life matters and work towards them. And if you set them and you didn't achieve them, amend them. But by all means, you'll be closer than you would have been if you didn't set any goal for yourself at all. And so my name is Obin Dalko. I've tried to talk to you about goals and you writing them down. Don't just have them in your head, please. Don't just have them as head knowledge. Don't just have them somewhere. All the inspirations that come to you, document them, put them down, and start to build workable strategies around them. That's how I believe God talks to us. I believe so. He talks to everybody. We don't only listen because you think that you are not a prophet. And so the ideas that are coming to you all the time, write them and work towards them. That you did, and your life will take a shape. I have been practicing this for a long time, where I write the ideas that come to me. I write a lot of things. I write my goals. I write the business. Even if I'm just thinking of some project, I write them down. I write. And ideas that come, you can easily build ideas into a book. You can build ideas into a movie. Those who sing, it's ideas that come. And so when the music hits them, you see them, they pick the recorder and they sing, so that they will not forget it. that is a goal that they are keeping. It's a data that they are keeping. So the ideas that come to you, write them down, keep them somewhere. So inspirations hit you and you just smile. No, you should be able to organize your life. Have a laptop, organize all the ideas that come to you, write visions, write your own business profile, write things. We should be able to get to your laptop and see for the last 10 years all the things that you'll be writing and all the things that you'll be working on for your business, for yourself, for the things that you're doing for society. We should be able to come to you and have data. If you cannot organize data, you cannot organize life. You cannot organize your life. So organize it. There are a lot of things that you can do when you start to organize yourself. Is organized, and successful people always get organized at their ideas, at the things that they do, the things that they're passionate about. And so is your goals. You organize your life around your goals, and you'll be shocked what you can do. And don't let anybody take that right from you to set the goals that you want to live. That is your responsibility, to say that this is the life that I want to live, and you work towards it. Don't let anybody take that right from you. It's a right, actually, to live the life that you so desire to live and work towards it. Don't let anybody use anything to trick you to live their life, but not your life. It's your life, and that's why you're going to give account for. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Thank you. So we have talked about goals. Thank you. Write them down and pursue them. That is where the magic is. Thank you very much.